Good evening. Surprise! I'm live. In the shop. Yeah, it felt like hitting the live button on old YouTube, see what everybody's doing. We all doing? Huh? Blueface here. Charles, buddy. Hey, Pops. How's the driving going? Working on some little youth-size hunters. We got some order. Uh, customer actually bought several blades for their children and husband. So got a couple youth size getting ready to go out. I've already been heat treated. You can see the temper colors on them. Nice and straw, brown. So now I gotta get them cleaned up. An old file guide. If you're making knives, I highly recommend you get you one of these. I make them too. I've got a couple pairs that I've made for myself. I use air hardening steel when I make them. I got some A2 steel that I make it out of. I made a larger set actually for, let me grab them real quick. I made the larger set for the chef's knife that I did recently. Let's see where they at. Right here. They're pretty simple to make. Just gotta get everything lined up even, flush. This is A2, you know. Carriage bolts. I can open this one up further when I tighten them bolts down. There's no play, so I mean it's gonna be nice and flat and give you a good square shoulder, clean plunge lines. I needed something because see this one doesn't open, but like, see that's pushing. Opens maybe a quarter of an inch. You know, I couldn't get an integral bolster in there, so I had to improvise, and that's when I decided to make them. So they're not hard to make, you know. I've actually got a pictorial, a bunch of pictures when I was making it, and I never posted it. I don't know why I didn't post it, but I didn't post it because I'm lazy. Jack Resner, see me on Forge and Fire this week. Good job. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I had a blast doing that. That was awesome. That was awesome. All right, let's get this puppy in there. And basically, with a file guide, I've already obviously got plunge lines on here that I want to match this thing back up to. And we'll tighten it down. And what this does, this hardened steel, these file guides, makes a stop for that belt. And that belt won't cut into this hardened steel. So it makes it to where plunge lines are nice and even and straight. I'll show you what I mean. Get your plunge lines lined up perfectly. Okay. No, I do not have a link for Forged and Fire. You have to have, like, I guess Hulu Live or History Channel. You have to have cable or something. You go on the History Channel app and look it up and watch it. It's season 7, episode 21. Yeah. Metal Man, you ain't gonna make it tomorrow. What the heck? Yeah, well, I didn't get the check, so my weapon didn't win. Unfortunately, it happens. Shit happens, right? What can you say? You know, it is what it is. But let's go grind something real quick. I just gotta slap this on the, hit this with a 120 grit real quick, and then we'll do some hand sanding from there on it. It ain't gonna take me but a second. I got me the RZ mask. These things are pretty sweet. You can't tell right where my mask goes. I wear it often because my beard has memory. It tucks under automatically. I can't get that out no matter what I do. It's long enough for those beard ties that Tracy sent me. I do know that. Yeah. But you're not here to see me stroke my beard. Anyways, we'll get this on. Get our headphones on. I just don't like the noise. You guys have a volume button? Here's my volume button. Know what I mean? Going hunting. Going hunting. I heard that, man. Shit. Ain't nothing wrong with going hunting, brother. I'm gonna pull this belt off now. We're gonna slap this 120 grit on here. We're gonna make sure everything's good and lined up. I'm gonna grind it, but I just wanted to tell you what I was doing there. I'm trying a new belt company. Sure, they get your shit to you pretty quick, but sizes are so inconsistent. I'm not gonna put their name out there, but I will tell you I'm going back to combat. This one is probably like 2 3/16 wide instead of 2 inches. So my platen on the back, my backing plate, is 2 inches. Combat belts are always 2 inches. They sit there perfect on it, you know. I ain't got to move it left and right to make sure I can hit these plunge lines. These belts I do. I'm constantly having to adjust the tracking. So that's what I was doing. I was getting it lined up. So once I get one side, I've got to adjust the tracking back over so I get the other side. That way the belt's not digging in, sticking off the edge of the platen. Sucks. You got good belts, but that's annoying. And whenever you're changing belts and doing shit like this, you don't want those kind of issues because it's aggravating. It's a 2 horsepower. Now we just gotta take this thing off, clean this up a little bit so we can hand sand it. So. See, nice clean bevel lines, nice flat, full flat grind, all the way to the top of the spine, nice distal taper. And you see the plunge lines are even. Right there. That's what you're after. That's why you use the file guide. Okay? Now I'll just hit these flats because this part here, I'd say from here to there and up, that right there is all exposed. So I need to get that scale knocked off of there so I can hand sand that too. They look a lot better cleaned up, don't they? Yeah, they do. Yes, the 2x72 is healthy. You saw me jerk my hand back off of it. It bit me last night. But the reason I jerked my hand back, what I was talking about, that extra overlap of that belt, because their belts are a little wider than they're supposed to be, sticks off the side of your backing plate. And if you put any, see how that damn thing curves in my beard? I can't get rid of it. It's either that or don't wear the respirator and go wear the respirator. Anyways, that extra lip that hangs over the side of the platen or the backing plate, you rock one way or the other, that shit'll bite into what you're working on. And if it's something thin like that, it'll grab it. So when I felt it getting ready to grab it, so I just get the hell out of the way because I don't want that thing to fling that down with my hands. And yeah, matter of fact, you can see right there where it grabbed. So you just, I don't like them belts. And a lot of people I know use them, so I'm not going to put them out there like that. Because if somebody else if somebody else pays attention, they'll notice that too. Maybe somebody else will say it and I won't have to, because I don't want to be that guy. I got to take my heartburn medicine. Give me a second, damn it. Yeah, heartburn. Isn't it amazing what a pill? That damn small. Does for heartburn. I don't know. Famotidine. Heartburn. Acid reducer. Anyways, so now we're gonna hand sand this bastard for a little bit and talk to you guys. See what y'all are up to. Let me get situated. I've got some more sandpaper on order. I'm not using the best stuff, but I'll use what I got while I wait on something else. Where's my flat? Where to put it? I had it over here, hand sanding with it, and then get rid of it. See, this is why I don't clean up. Shit disappears when I clean up. Who else is like that? You're working on something, and then out of nowhere, what you're working with, shit disappears. I don't know how it happens. But it's a cool ass trick that those blacksmiths are really good at. You know? We're really good at it. I don't understand how it happens. I don't understand why it happens. But it happens. You know? So what? Life goes on. We'll figure it out. Dump this out. Fresh dunk. Right there, water trough. Turn that off. Would be good. I swear that piece I was using should just be laying there. It's kind of aggravating me that it's not. But in any case. That'll work for what I'm doing. Get situated here. Get my clamp. Get the blade in place. Evans, what's up? Wet it. This is 220 grit that I'm sanding with. And I'm almost out of it, so I've got 220 grit 4-inch wide belt. A roll. It's a shop roll. It's not it wasn't ever in one solid, one big belt, you know. It's just a big, giant, long roll that you can make smaller belts out of. And that is kind of like my emergency backup paper, because it's not the greatest, but it will work until my order gets here, which I placed on Combat on Wednesday. Or Thursday. I placed it Thursday. So it should be here sometime next week. He said it's supposed to ship Friday. This is the fun part about being a blade maker. You know, it's just sanding and sanding and sanding and sanding. You know, and a lot of people will claim, oh, I put a 400 grit, I put 1,000 grit finish on there. A lot of times they're not lying. And you get those guys that I don't think they understand what it means to put 1,000 grit finish on something. Yeah, you guys sat and watched me sand just now for a little bit with this 220 grit finish, right? Or 220 grit paper. I can't stop now and say, oh, that's a 220 grit finish because I used some 220. Hell no. Them scratches on there. All them scratches on there got to come out of there and be running this direction. So I'm sanding perpendicular to the scratches. Okay. There's 120. And I'm starting on 220 here. You got to keep doing that. And then when you get done with 220, all the scratches out of it, you go back with like 400. And you sand in the opposite direction again. And you keep going back over and over and over. I put a 600 grit finish on the Viking sword. It took me 136 hours of hand sanding. Okay. Think about that. 136 hours. I should have got a trophy just for that. I had about 15 hours, 20 hours in forging the blade and the guard and the pommel and grinding it. And I had 130 something hours in sanding, hand sanding. Stop putting scratches in there. People pay me to put scratches in stuff, man. They say, I want you to put 220 grit scratches in that blade. Okay, I'll do it. Every now and then you wipe it. That's why I got this desk lamp here. So I can put light on it from different angles. Cause I got my shop lights up over my head. And I put a light on it from that angle. And it'll show you scratches that you won't see from this angle. Like, I can still totally see that this thing's covered with scratches. But when you get down to the nitty gritty and you think you're done. Did you hear that? That was my name. You think you're done. Look at it from every possible angle. Light from every possible angle. And you'll see that you probably aren't done. As much as you want to be done, you're not done. You're only hoping you're done. And that's what makes your blades really pop. You know? It's taking the time to do the proper finish on them. You want to do the proper finish, for sure. For sure. And as you progress in your craft, you'll start learning how to do nicer pommels and cleaner lines. And like, I'm still a novice to say. I mean, you ask the American Bladesmith Society, I'm still a novice. I haven't taken my journeyman smith test yet. But that's also not saying too much, because there are a lot of amazing makers out there that aren't journeymen, that still haven't taken that test. So that's not the end all be all. Show you where we're getting to with it. See, if I lean it that way, you can't see any scratches up there. But if I tilt it, let the light hit it from that angle, we see there's still scratches up here. You keep sanding like this. I have higher grits. I've got 800 grit belts hanging on the wall back there. That doesn't change the fact that a good hand sanding will outdo any belt grip finish you want to put out there. I'm a firm believer that this a 220 grit satin finish is all I do on mine. And I do use the 800 and 600 grit belts on occasion. Yes, way more control hand sanding when doing finish work. I can sand exactly what I want without any slips. And it's therapeutic, you know, I get to sit out here and hang out with you jackasses. Ha! How you like me now? Yeah! Yeah. Now, if they wanted a mirror finish on this, Sam, I definitely would have went up to like 800 to 1,000 grit on the belt before I started hand sanding. But these are basic, you know, a basic knife style that I offer run of the mill. It's like, hey, what kind of knife you want? If this isn't like a custom commission, this is, I want that knife that you make, that style. And I'm getting to the point where I need to start making cutouts of them and hanging them up and putting SKU numbers on them, so people can just look and say, I want D7, give me H33, you know what I mean? The basic type. This is a youth-sized hunter. It's a simple hunter knife, but for a youth, for a 10, 12-year-old boy, you know? Or small woman's hands. My wife, she's 5'2". This thing fits her hand perfectly. Little, boom. So, basic finish on this, basic Kydex sheath with a ferro rod attachment. You spotted the shop Buddha and Darth Vader. I hoped you would, man. They make me cover everything. Whenever, I mean, seriously, look. The side of my right here. They came and put tape over everything. You look at the front of my drill, there's tape on it. There's tape on my hand tools, any tools that I used in the filming. There's tape on my bandsaw over there. Any tools that I use, they put tape over. If it had a name brand. You know, my cigarettes. If I pulled my cigarettes out, they had tape on them. So, they made me cover everything, take everything down, you know. So I figured, I was like, what the hell, they ain't gonna make me take this down. They ain't got a damn clue. That's just another part of my shop. So I was really hoping that they got the shop Buddhas. Did you see Willie in the background? They made me put Willie's in the background too. The Willies are in there. Willies are in there. Everything else though got covered up. I don't put many hours into hand sanding this knife. This side's almost done. The sword, I got almost $2,000 out of that sword. I didn't make a whole lot of money because it was, you know, me just making something for fun. But this knife, my basic stock knives that are stock removal, that aren't forged, 10 minutes cut that out, throw it on the grinder and put bevels on it. 10 minutes. Go to the heat, forge, heat treat it. The time you spend on a handmade blade is in the finished work. You know, I forge my swords and stuff like that. When I do the forging of the blades, they take a little longer, yeah. For sure. And depending on the type of blade that I'm going to make, it depends on if I do stock removal or forging. If I'm doing a tracker knife, that's going to be stock removal. If I'm doing one of these basic hunters, run of the mill, quick, out the doors, stock removal. Somebody wants a kukri, I'm forging it. They want a bolo, I'm forging it. And a machete, someone I'm forging it. It's something, these small little EDCs, cut them out. If they want Damascus, I'm forging it, you know. Speaking of Damascus, I got one I'm working on. Let me grab it and show it to you. Here it is, right here. Right here. This is a Damascus one. You can kind of see the layers in there. I'm grinding it down now, getting the thinness to where I want it before I start putting bevels in it. I want to forge the bevels in. But you can see the pattern. It's got a bar of wrought iron. Look up top here, this line. That's wrought iron, and the spine stops about right there. Somewhere like right in here. And it's all Damascus down here and down through there. That'll be a boom boom. Yeah, you run them in batches. That's why I'm sitting here doing 2 right now. You run them in batches. If they're your stock knives, you make them in batches. Lauren, what's up, man? But that blade, I forged that and then cleaned the profile up with the grinder on the belt sander. These here I just cut out because I just don't warrant the time spent forging. That knife right there will go for 2 to 3 times as much as one of these. This knife will. Maybe more. These knives here that I'm working on, they're $150 with a sheath. This knife here is $450 to $500. You know. But it comes with a lifetime warranty. Unless you use it for darts or trying to dig a trench with it or chop up angle iron. Basically use it for anything that's not meant to be used for. I mean, sure, you might watch the show Forged in Fire, but no, your knife is not made to chop through an ammo can. Don't try it. It's not covered in your warranty. I don't give a damn who you are. There's no knife maker out there that'll warranty your knife for that. As cool as it looks on the show, it is not how it really is. So who's coming to watch the show tomorrow? Think we're going to work on that top tool some more. Top swedge, the rounding swedge. Sam, we'll see you, brother. Tomorrow at 11 Eastern. Right now, after the big dog. Alright. See where we're getting up here? That's the finish where we're looking for up here. Still got some on the edges, down the edges here that we gotta get out. But that's the finish we're going for. And we're moving our way down the blade and get all these scratches here out. By Jove, I think we'll get it. We need peace, why don't we? Sure. Alright. So I finally broke 3,000 subscribers. What do you guys think about all that? Finally made it to 3,000. I don't know, should I do a giveaway? I kind of was wanting to do it for 5,000, but it's taking a while to get there. I think we should wait for 5,000. What do you guys think? Maybe you guys can push us to 5. Find me 2,000 more subscribers out there, guys. I know there's more than 2,000 more people that we can get. Yeah? What do you think? I think it's a good idea. Nope, no way, you're right. I hand sand quite a bit, actually. I just never put it on video because I figure it's boring. But if y'all want to watch me hand sand, come on and watch me. Can't make pretty knives without hand sanding, I don't believe. Just don't believe it. Tell you, U.S. Mail was on point yesterday and today. had a customer order or buy that knife that I had for sale. That other Hunter, the big version of this, had listed for sale. And they bought it, and I got it shipped out the door yesterday when they bought it. They messaged me today, says, "Hey, I got the knife today. That thing's badass." I'm like, "No, what's badass is the postal service. They just got that shit to you in less than 24 hours, and I paid for 3 days shipping." Hell yeah. High five, postal service. I'm talking about fast and cheap. I mailed it yesterday at 4 o'clock. I got the message from her today at like noon. "Hey, we got that knife today." Holy shit. Ain't even been 24 hours. Rock on. Yeah, I think it's some dumb shit while I'm hand sanding. Can't help it. All you have is time. And if it wasn't for you guys, I'd have radio playing right now, but being monetized on YouTube and everything, I can't have copyright stuff playing in the background with my videos and get in trouble. So just sit here and babble. You wanted to bring the hammer to bed? What kind of role-playing shit are y'all doing over there, JT? Taking hammering that thing too literally. I can serenade you with a song. Tip jar's empty. I'm not singing nothing. I'll serenade you with the sweet, sweet sound of my hand sanding. Speaking of patrons, I lost about half my patrons over the past month. I know why. I don't care to really tell everybody why. 'Cause it's over and done with. They were good friends of mine. Not so much anymore. But yeah, I lost about half my patrons over the last month. So that's awesome. They were big patrons of the channel, but some things have happened. They no longer are. It took about half of my Patreon revenue with them. So $3 from Ben. $3 might get you happy birthday, Ben. And since it's not your birthday, I'm not singing happy birthday. Add a couple more zeros to that 3 and maybe we'll talk. But no, seriously. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. I like old country and rock and roll. Some metal. I'm not much into the new screamo metal shit, but old Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth. That would do. I like that. This is my favorite part of knife making. Yeah. Hey, Does anybody know who I like to build stuff? I like to build things on Instagram. His name is Bob at I like to build things. He's got like 150, 200,000 followers. Anybody ever heard of him? Who's a liar? What? Oh, I'm the liar. Yeah. So, filled the slots that were open for next Saturday for the knife making class. It's a basic intro to knife making. I'm going to be making blacksmith knives, forge to finish, teach how to forge bevels, forge them to bevel, forge them to finish, and I'll just finish them up real quick on the belt grinder just by sharpening them. You know, we're not going to grind bevels in. It's forging a blade class. I mean, once they learn how to use a grinder, they can use the grinder to grind their bevels smooth and shiny if they want to. But forging to finish will be the goal of the class, making some blacksmith knives. If they're quick, they'll make more than one. Teach them how to identify steels for knives. Teach them how to judge how much steel they need for the knife they want to make. And how to heat treat and draw temper. And all those good things. Filled that up pretty quick. I put the post up today about it. Filled it today and got enough interest that I will be doing one a month. So, let's think about that. Be one a month. Alternating every other weekend. I'm only able to do 2 classes a month. I'll be able to do every other weekend. So I'll factor out the 2 classes a month. You know, so 1 class a month will be basic knife making, intro to knife making, unless some folks want to come back for a next level class, then we'll get more into grinding and things like that once they're up to that level. But 1 class a month will be knife making, 1 class a month will be tool making. So next Saturday, knife making. 2 Saturdays after that, I'll have a tool making class, and it's basic intro, identifying good steels for tools for the job that you need. How to make basic punches, drifts, chisels, things like that, and how to heat treat them. Stuff like that. That's a basic intro to tool making class. I may throw in a hammer making class in there in the schedule sometime, but I'll have the schedule out eventually. It's had enough traction. Enough people have messaged me today trying to get a class that I think that would go well. I definitely have enough people to fill the next 2 months worth of classes already lined up. So think about that. If that's something you guys want to do in the next 3 months, 4 months maybe, get in on a class with me. If it gets enough traction and I can start doing more than 2 a month, then that'd be even cooler. And if that was the case, that would fund a facility that could host more than just 2 people at a time. Because right now, you guys know what kind of shop I got. I can't have more than about 2 people here at a time and actually effectively get anything done. But if it has enough traction where people are wanting to come and take a class or something like that, and I can afford to pay the lease or rent on some warehouse space and move my shop to there, then maybe I can offer them every week, once or twice a week. But for now, we're going to stick to every other weekend. Every other Saturday. And I do the Saturday thing because that's when people are most available. This is mono steel. This one's the Damascus one, but I'm not working on that one tonight. Yes, I did see the Purple Heart handle on it. Yeah, I wish you lived closer too. I'd definitely sell you a spot in the class. Some folks have asked if they can do 3 people because they got themselves and 2 friends that want to take it. And I have to see how I like it with 2 people first. If I feel like there's more, because I got 2 anvils, you know. I can effectively operate 2 people out of 1 forge with 2 anvils and be totally okay. I don't know how 3 people would go. So I kind of want to keep it limited to just 2, if I possibly can. That's my goal. Here's my handle, more walnut. This is going to be the scales right here. And I am going to put another G10 spacer on these because they want to be like the knife I just bought. They want the G10 scale or spacers between the scale. They got white G10, black G10, blue, red, orange, green. With Kydex sheath. Got different color rivets on the way for Kydex. Got some white and some red and blue on the way for the Kydex sheaths. That way I can match the Kydex. Either the Kydex or the rivets, customer choice, to the spacer in their knives. You know, you get a white G10 liners. You know, throw white rivets in a black sheath, the white will tie it in, you know. There you go, done it, dusted. Or get you a white Kydex sheath with black spacers and a black, or black rivets and, you know, white spacer. Whatever, I can, basically what I'm saying is matching color combos together, you know. Making it to where you can make your knife match your sheath. I got some pretty cool acrylic on the way too. It's a white resin filled pine cone scales coming for a knife I'm going to be making and putting up for sale for anybody that be interested in it. Hopefully I don't screw them up. I want to check out that pine cone. I've used a bunch of cool shit for handles. I've never used a pine cone before, and I want to. I think it would be pretty cool. We're starting to get somewhere with this finish, folks. We're getting somewhere. Show you where we're at so far. Once I get all the scratches out, I'm down here at these scratches. The ones on the very edge I'm not really worried about because the second bevel will remove those anyways. So that's kind of a cheat that people don't tell you about. I'd say a good 1/8 inch of the edge here. Who gives a shit? You're going to put a secondary bevel on there anyways. It's going to get rid of those scratches. So who gives a shit? What you need to worry about is the rest of the blade. And that's what I'm worried about. Get all that dust off there. You see I got it all clean except for down here at the spine. Right here. I got to get these off. But it's going well. Then once I get them all done, it'll be nice one directional strokes all that way, like so, to get all the scratch lines perfect, and you don't, the way you're not like having a start, because every time you do that, you get a start-stop point in the middle of your scratch line. You know, you'll see it, and it'll annoy the shit out of you. So you'll want to go all one direction at the end to get rid of them. You know, like so. Now get rid of your start-stop points and have your nice, clean, flowing line. Good way to sand in the plunge line. What do you mean, sand in? That's why I've got a good sharp-edged thing here with my sandpaper folded around it that'll get right up into that plunge line. That's my stop. That you hear that If I pull too hard, obviously I'm not pulling that hard when I'm saying I'm pulling hard now so you can hear it, but you hear. That's the plunge line. That's it stopping against it. What I'm saying is I stop at that point. And that sharp edge of the steel that the sandpaper's wrapped around helps push the sandpaper up into that plunge line. The easiest way to grind in a plunge line is using these. Use a good clean shoulder file guides. Blade stop, whatever you want to call them. Blade stop. Realistically, these knives here, I can make a couple a day, 2, 3 a day. I'm really getting after it. And that's if I've already got all the material cut out, you know. It's a stock knife of mine, which means something I'm able to do quickly once I start on them. Something that I offer. It's not a custom commission. So you guys bored as hell yet? Thanks for hanging out with me. I had a pretty cool experience over the last couple of days. I was being on Forged in Fire. People stopping me at the store and talking to me. Took my son to Scouts tonight, and they had their award ceremony for their different badges and stuff, and the dinner and all that good junk. I had a good time. While I was there, the scout leader came to me, said that he saw me on Forged in Fire, that I did an amazing job, and the way I handled myself was amazing. You know, how my sportsmanship and camaraderie and all that. So they asked me to be their guest speaker for my son's scout meeting tonight for their award ceremony, which I thought was pretty dang cool. You know, they introduced me, you know, it was pretty cool. $2 from Amy Daigle. Thank you. Miss Amy, how you doing? Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. They came up, they recognized me. My son loves Scouts. So. Clap. Clap, 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 clap your hands. So, about breaking the 3,000 subscriber, do you think 3,000 subscribers is a monumental occasion that warrants a giveaway? Should we push for the 5,000 mark? Thanks for taking the time to answer my questions. I know I ask a lot. Inconvenient skills, man. Thank you for that. And trust me, I enjoy answering the questions. That's why I'm here, man. You ask them, I answer them. Wish more people ask questions. Thank you for that. We're almost there on this side here. Change the light angles, see if I can pick up any other scratches. Yep, down here. Damn it. Doesn't want to tear it. It'll tear it now. So if you want in on these classes, the basic intro classes are $150 a person. You can sign up. I provide lunch. The 8 to 10 hour course starts at 8, goes to 5 or 7, it's depending on where we're at with whatever we're working on when we get to that point. Here at my shop. You might even become part of a video while you're here. You never know. Don't wait till 5,000. Those that care here aren't here for the freebies. Hey Karma, how you doing? Smack your dad for me, please. That would be awesome. Good thing about a wooden shop table. It's old. Put my cigarette out on it, wipe it off, throw the butt in the can. I would throw the butt in the can, but I hate a smoldering cigarette blowing me while I'm working. It sucks. 5 Canadian from the monkey with a hammer. Thank you, Jeff. You are the man, sir. Yeah, I've still got them hanging on the damn rack out there, Alan. That forging it forward never went where I wanted it to go, so I didn't never do anything with them. They've just been hanging there. Waiting for you to have a thought. Only time Ben laughs is when he's running through the grass. Point out glow bugs to him in the river in the middle of the night and see what he says then. Turn those into tongs that my son can keep going down. That's not a bad idea. They're small. They're his size. That's a good idea, Alan. I've got to make an anvil stand for that anvil this week. That's the anvil that I'm going to be using in the classes. Is his anvil. Till I go buy another one. So, somebody buy some glasses. I've got to buy a third anvil. That way I'm not using my son's anvil because he's going to be asking me, why are you using my anvil, Dad? I got to go buy another anvil. Got to go buy another anvil. And that costs money. So somebody go buy something. Seriously, the business blew up this week. The day after Hell, I'm sure I could have sold some knives the night my episode aired, but I was a little too drunk to do that. I'd have screwed myself. The very next day, though, I've sold several. People wanting to come take classes. But if anything, even though I lost in the finale, it's definitely helped my business. So I'm definitely grateful for that. Time for a fresh piece. Wrap it tight. You don't want any wrinkles in it. And now stop at 220, so this will be all the same hand sanding I'll have to do this with. Then I'll oil it, cover it with a blue shop rag, tape it off, and work on the handle. And leave it covered until I'm done with the handle. Then once the handle's ready to go on, or once the handle's on there, I'll take it off and sharpen it once I get the handle cleaned up. Okay. Just keep it covered after you get done sanding. You won't scratch it up. And I have a ultra fine surface conditioning belt on the way as well. I wore my old one out, so I got a new one on the way. I'll hit these with the ultra fine surface conditioning belt when it's all said and done, and that'll give it a nice satin finish. And then I got some hammers to make this week. A few more orders to get finished on Etsy. If the knife orders keep coming like they are, I may be pausing the Etsy shop and be putting a halt on tools. The toolmaker may stop putting tools out. That's possible. Because I'm definitely getting a lot of interest on knives right now. So if you want tools, I suggest you go get them. Because it's a very good possibility in the next 2 months. Hell, next month I may pause it. If my books keep going at the pace they're going with just knives, I'll be booked out for 6 months. I won't be able to get the tools on Etsy. Come on, scratches, go away. You're the last ones. And you're being super annoying. There's one scratch that's left. One friggin' scratch. And I want it to die. Die, scratch, die. Go away, scratch, I still see you. New Patreon, Christopher Ballard. Christopher Ballard, if you're watching right now, you are the man. Alright. There's a 220 grit finish. All the scratch lines are all one direction. like I said, we don't care about these ones by the edge up here because we're going to get rid of them when we do our secondary bevel when we sharpen it. So now all that's left is really, I just sand from the first pinhole up to there, the plunge line. Right there. That's all I sand on that. So that doesn't take much to hand sand. But I want to get the bevels done first. Then I'll do those. But showed you guys how to kind of do a finish now. Now, if I want to go another grit higher, I would sand kind of at an angle this way to make my scratch lines go a different direction. That way I can see when all these scratch lines going this direction are gone. And once they're all going this way together, you're at the next level. Then you can move it up to another one and go back straight again. So every time you change grits and move up, you need to change the direction of your scratch lines. That way you can see the previous scratch lines when they disappear. This is a little tutorial on hand sanding enough. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Hit me up, Instagram at County Line Forge. Follow me on Facebook at County Line Forge. You know, a lot of people are sending me friend requests on my personal account, and if I know you, I'll accept it. If I don't know you, I'm sorry. You just have to go to the County Line Forge Blacksmith Mashup and follow me there, or go to my page, County Line Forge, and follow me there. You'll see a lot of my work. I posted all there. So, yeah, I think it'd be awesome if you did. Thanks for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate all the support. Thanks for the new patron. That's pretty cool. You rock. We have a Patreon giveaway coming up very shortly. So, stick around for that if you want to take part. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. I think you're going to like it. Thank you, everybody. Love all of you. Neil, your hammer's going out soon. It was the last one to get done. It's right here, sitting on my bench right in front of me. I've got the handle. It's been tempered. Everything's got to be cleaned up, handle put in it. I had to redo it. I'll not redo the hammer, but redo the heat treat on it, obviously, because you wanted the touch mark in the older hammer, so I had to change it or redo the heat treat. Boom. It's there. Just got to put the handle in it, get it out the door after I clean it up. Sledgehammer's gone. It's out the door. The skull or Mwabo, it's out the door. All the stuff everybody wants out the door, except for this last hammer here, and it will be out the door shortly, Neil. So thank you again for your support. You guys are all awesome, and I will see y'all tomorrow, 11 o'clock Eastern. 11 o'clock Eastern tomorrow morning, right after Big Dog. Be there. Peace.